Yeah, hi, it's Grigorian. These days I'd like to talk about adoptions. I think it is in time to comprehend. Um, a lot of children are actually not the biological children of their parents, and somehow these adoptions are running around the world since many years because a lot of people are just getting wrong or kind of replacing the children and the hospitals or clinics already. So because the entire world is somehow possessing not biological children, um, I think adoption should be something enormously natural and something suitable for everyone. So, in my opinion, adoption should be really happening until the age of well, even 50, it depends on what kind of person it is, and if it is somehow a very bright person with no money, it is suitable to be adopted, and if it is a baby which is, um, looking even totally differently than the biological or the adopting parents, I also think that it's normal. So I'm just talking about most of the time. Um, Most of the times about these adoptions from Eastern European countries because I'm coming from one of those countries and I've been in this one of these orphan houses. I know these are, I'm sorry to say that, but these are horrible places and they are enormously sad and tragic spaces filled with crying children, and there are rapes and there are beatings and there are humiliations, um, actually on a daily basis. So I'd like to say that it is really crucially important to adopt all the children from Russia, from the previous Soviet Union, because the amount of children without parents is huge. Now, a lot of children are somehow ruled by some criminals, some mafia. Um, just think about the film Slumdog Millionaire, and a lot of children are really neglected and used sexually, etc. So I'd like the entire world and the entire world politicians, important people um, to change this horrible state of suffering in a childhood, and I would like all the people to be really very attentive and to comprehend that adoption would mean that poor countries would be getting some help from the richer countries, and rich countries would be getting children because in these countries the population is somehow is lessening itself, and a lot of countries with a lot of money like Germany, like Switzerland, like Sweden, um, a lot of very rich societies are somehow complaining they are having no children and they are somehow not getting pregnant or whatever happens with the children, but and society really are in troubles with population which is degrading. So I'd like the societies to be able to adopt children for free from Eastern Europe, for example, or to pick up street children in South America or in India and China, because the probably the state there of the childhood is a much more alarming one. So children are not in orphan houses, but purely living on the street, which is even more alarming and more sad story. So I'd like all these children to be picked up by rich societies and be given a home and be given parents. So I'd like everyone who's a orphan to be adopted in front of the audience, in front of the video cameras and television. I mean, not every adoption should be ruled by television or should be followed by television, but as a matter of fact, I'd like the entire very important adoptions, like adoption of very maybe particular talented people, particular talented children, to be able to follow in television. For example, if there are some people from Brazil which are enormously beautiful and they're also looking like models, why shouldn't be they adopted in front of the television, and why aren't they given the possibility to work as a model in Paris or somewhere else, and why aren't they adopted by people like Heidi Klum or Claudia Schiffer or whatever? So I think it could be a very interesting reality show, and at the same time I think that the normal adoption, that kind of normal, not particularly talented people, should also be given a possibility to be showed on TV. And if there are some particular talented sport men, sport ladies and children in Russia or somewhere in Georgia, they are great singers or whatever, to be adopted because they are having their parents. Why isn't it happening in front of the TV? And we're listening to them and we're wondering how great they are, even if they're having their support from parents or from somebody who's really incredible loving them. So why isn't it possible that it is happening in front of television and we're having some kind of reality show? Additionally to a huge website which would be connecting the adults to be adopted and the children to be adopted, because at the same time children are adopting adults. So I like everyone to comprehend that this world could be a less cruel place, less criminal place, and less dangerous place, and less wars if every child is picked up and every child is having a lovely family and bright future. Because criminal people and people who are warriors and who are able to kill people, they are actually created by neglection of their parents or were absolutely missing their parents. So a lot of them are having their parents killed. So I would like everyone who is missing parents, like a lot of war orphans from Israel or from Palestine or from nowadays Ukraine, or a lot of orphans of the war from the Caucasus and this Mountain Karabakh region to be picked up and to be adopted, because I'm sure these children could be having a different life and they should be growing up not to warriors and not to work products like their parents, but something which is supporting peace and is creating peace. And maybe they are all great politicians and great journalists and they are great web developers and great chess players or whatever. Right now they are in the same war zones. They are becoming great warriors and great criminals, which is actually not so very good. So I'd like this world to become a beautiful and peaceful place with the help of adoptions. I'm sure it is possible to adopt every child worldwide. There are not enough families with missing children to adopt a child. So I really think, or some the other way around, there are not a lot of families who would like to have more children, and a lot of adults are having zero children at all. A lot of adults, like religious workers, like monks and Buddhists and priests, are having zero children, but somehow they should be, or they kind of bring life into this society. Why aren't they actually having families? And they are having their own children, biological ones, or their adopted children. I suppose all these religious workers, like priests and nuns, they kind of have a particular kind nature. Their hearts are warm, they're able and allowed to adopt children. I think it is on time to comprehend that even religion and church does change enormously with the run of time, and the church, the Catholic Church, nowadays is really not so very brutal by the Catholic Church to the times of this marches over Europe with tortures and yeah, and crucifixion is some horrible things. So I think the church got to be moving here, and got to be coming to the point where adoptions are allowed within the church, and it is allowed to marry within the church, and it's allowed still to keep their job as a religious worker and as a priest and nuns. So it is possible to be a good Catholic and be a good religious worker, but at the same time to have a family and to adopt a child or to have own children. So this is something very natural and is supported by the church and is supported by the Vatican and his Holy Pope Francis.